Like all other professions, the community social worker also follows certain ethical standards which are known as the principles of community organization. So, if we look at the principles of community organization, we find that the first principle of community organization is the principle of acceptance. So there is a need on the part of the community organizer to accept the community and is to be accepted by the community as well. So to accept the community, this is important that the professional community social worker should accept the community as it is and with all its characteristics, and should go to the community without having any preconceived notions on his part. And for gaining acceptance within the community organizer has to contact the different leaders of socio-cultural groups of the community so he can be accepted by the community as well. So he makes contacts with the key leaders of the community. The second principle is about the understanding of felt needs and resources. The community organizer tries to explore the resources inside the community or the outside the community, but the community organizer does not impose his opinion about the assessment of the needs. This is the community who decides about their felt needs, and the community organizer just facilitate the community to explore their resources for to tackle with these community problems. Another important principle is principle of individualization. Although the community social worker work with the whole community, but also tries to find out the problem groups. Problem groups are those groups which are facing their specific difficulties within the community and are less privileged and disadvantaged groups of the community. So community organizer tries to bring this weaker segment of the community at par with the rest of the sections of the community. Then another important principle of community organization is the principle of self-determination. The community organizer provides all the flexibility to the community that the community should determine their felt needs themselves, should determine the plan of action to resolve the issues of the community, and should settle their resources which are going to be used for the solution of the problems. Community organizer gives this freedom with certain limitations because in the process of decision making, no discriminatory practices can be implemented against any sections of the community. So community organizer has to work with empathy, not with sympathy. Another principle of community organization, in which community organization attitude and approach should be non-judgmental, should not be biased, and it should be objective oriented and fact-based. Another important principle is flexible functional organization, which means that the involvement of all the leaders, formal and informal, belonging to all the socio-cultural groups of the community. Then the diffusion of responsibilities, the delegation of authority, particularly from those leaders who feel themselves overburdened. And community organizer try to develop the new leadership within the community as well. And it can be done by constituting the different committees, the subcommittees, and consultation sessions. Another important principle is progressive program experience, means the program should be evolutionary in character, not revolutionary. No haphazard changes should be introduced within the community. And program should be in consonance with the ability of the people. No program should be launched within the community which is beyond the scope of the community people. So there must be a harmony between the potentials, capabilities of the community people and the development endeavors which we are going to introduce in the community. Then another principle is of meaningful relationship. Community organizers' relationship should be objective oriented, should not be biased, I have said earlier, not engaged in discriminatory practices while taking the side of specific group of the community, and should continue to work till the self-reliance of community is achieved. Community worker should work with the community and until he thinks that community is capable to manage its affairs itself. Then another important principle is the principle of people's participation at all levels, from the need assessment, the evaluation of the resources, the implementation and execution of the plans, and the monitoring and supervision of these projects, and the evaluation, impact assessment evaluation of these development endeavors in the community. Then another important principle is source mobilization. Community organizer should mobilize the internal as well as the external resources of the community and should avoid the duplication of efforts to save the time and energy and resources of the community. And the community organizer also strive to explore the talent of the groups, the talent of the individuals, which can be used for the betterment of the community, for the solution of the community problem. And a coordinated plan should be adopted while integrating these efforts. Another important principle is the principle of evaluation. Community organizer constantly evaluate his efforts or the process of development project which has been launched after assessing the felt needs and exploring the resources of the community. And the evaluation is also made to see the people's participation at all levels and to finding out the gaps and taking necessary steps to bridge these gaps.